with every new thing, we always say this, with every new thing, there's going to be exactly, it will take a minute to get used to it because I feel like I'm having to double check.
It's pretty good. No,
Yeah.
I like these. Like, it just really shows you how the future is going to be because look, like things are literally being digitalized. Like, you know, it's really important though. It makes our life easier,
100%.
especially for healthcare. If things can be made easier for you, you focus more on the patient,
On the things
and stuff,
that
that are important.
Well, we are almost at the end of our 12 days of Christmas. I'm excited because on the 12th day of Christmas, we all know. Exactly. So, it's day 11 of our Christmas special. And on today's episode, I thought we will actually just do a quick year in review in regards to sort of like the healthcare sector. Okay. So what has happened in 2024, you might be wondering. I have a few things that I have found out about the year 2024, which, I mean, some things are great, some things are a bit, come on, you know. So let's dive right into it. Fantastic. So in the year 2024, AstraZeneca, we all know AstraZeneca. Yes. You know, if you had a COVID jab at some point in the last 4 years, you might have had an AstraZeneca jab. So AstraZeneca, which is a pharma company, used generative AI models to accelerate drug discovery, especially oncology drugs. Okay. Which is really good.
That's very good.
Because oncology drugs are cancer drugs. So they have used AI models to try and generate, accelerate the sort of discovery of like drugs for like sort of like cancer. So that is a good thing, I think.
That is really good.
Yeah, I mean, that is one thing that I feel like AI has sort of like really helped.
Yes.
Like AI has played a big role in a lot of things, but that is one of the things I'm like, this is good. Yeah. This is good. Now, talking of AI, in 2024, NHS adopted AI-powered diagnostic tools to reduce backlogs in radiology and pathology. And this include things like DeepMind, which is supposed to sort of like to have improved cancer detection rates and things like that. So I think what the rate that AI is taking over, AI is going to change the game when it comes to healthcare. Yeah, it's going to change the game when it comes to the when it comes to healthcare, when it comes to a lot of things in the future. So if you don't believe in robots, this is the time you need to embrace these things.
I mean, we skipped up about robots, but yeah, it is where we're heading to. Like, so I guess we need to start embracing them.
In pharmacy, we have like robots that do dispensing, you know, like dispensing robots. So, yeah, and if say someone said to you 10 years ago that this was happening, you'd be like, nah. But it is happening, guys, and this is how I look at it. I will embrace it if it's making life better. Yes. You know, we have been literally looking for cancer treatment for years and years and years. And if this is a way forward or a step forward to getting this treatment, I'm here for it.
Yes.
Yeah.
I agree.
I agree. Next year in review is something that happened again in NHS England, where NHS England expanded its virtual wards. So the virtual ward program, which sort of enabled patients with conditions like COPD and heart failure to be monitored at home using wearable devices.
Ooh, okay.
Yes.
Oh no, I like that.
I like that because let's be honest, during COVID, a lot of things changed. And one of the things that changed is the fact that you couldn't actually go to see your GPs as you normally would or your doctors. And if you can have a wearable device that can track, you know, or monitor your health condition, I'm here for it. Yeah.
I'm all for it.
Yeah. And that's all thanks to AI.
Oh, thank you.
So there you go. Another thing that happened in 2024 is WHO World Health Organization collaborated with governments across the world to address critical shortages of healthcare workers, which we all know is a problem.
It is.
It is a
really
problem.
Is.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, I think what I realized as well, they were given a lot of like African countries an opportunity to actually come here to practice, but it was also taking a toll on the African countries because a lot of people, when they hear, oh, we can go and practice like in the UK, for instance, obviously you're going abroad, so it's going to benefit them, but then it takes a toll on the people in that country.
Yeah.
So, and a lot happened in 2024.
Yes. And to be fair, during COVID, I think that's when it became so pronounced that the NHS is basically led by immigrants. Let's just put it out there. If you go to any ward in any NHS trust, a lot of the people who are working there are immigrants, and that just goes to show. But I am very happy about this because there's people in Africa who have these say degrees, or they have these skills, and they can't really get jobs. And if they can come and get jobs here and better their lives, I'm here for it.
No, I get it, but honestly, I also feel like they're depriving the people in Africa. You say there are no jobs here, but they also need healthcare as well. It's just that the pay obviously do not match the pay in the UK, for instance. Yeah. So when people get the opportunity to come here, yes, they grab that, and then obviously the African countries, their hospitals are left with no good healthcare.
Do you know what? The reason I think I'm not mad at this is because I am the product of an immigrant. I am an immigrant myself, and my parents came here to work in the healthcare sector. So it's more of, if you compare the life they were living in, like, say, in Kenya versus the life here, I feel like it's because you can help a community or you can help a village, right? But what about that man who has a family? What about him who is helping him as well? So it's very debatable. Yeah, it's very debatable. It's one of those that someone will benefit and someone will also, exactly. So if you look at it that way, but I'm glad that maybe the WHO is collaborating with governments to address this, and it's not just governments in the UK, or it's not just government, the UK government, sorry, it's governments across the world. So that means that maybe WHO has put guidelines and regulations in place where, look, in every hospital there has to be this set number of people and things like that, which is quite good.
It's quite good.
Yeah.
I like that.
Now, another thing that happened in 2024 is something that happened in Boots Pharmacy.
Okay.
Yes. So Boots Pharmacy in the UK implemented a robotic dispensing system and AI-based inventory management to improve efficiency and also reduce pharmacists' workload.
Oh, I like that.
Yes, I have worked with this actually in the last sort of couple of weeks, and
Okay.
yeah, do you know what? With every new thing, we always say this. With every new thing, there's going to be exactly. It will take a minute to get used to it because I feel like I'm having to double check my work because I think you have to have checked a certain number of items for you to allow the system to for AI to take over. So we are currently, I think you have to have checked, I can't remember how many items, don't quote me, but I'm thinking it's 2,000. But until you've checked this many items, you have to keep sort of like going through like a lot of sort of like back and forth. And I feel for that reason, it's not, I wouldn't say it's as efficient, but going by what they're saying it will do, it will probably end up being quite efficient, and we will end up as pharmacists be able to do a lot more for our patients, which is good.
That's really good. I like that.
Yeah. So basically, like, it does like the accuracy and clinical check for you, and then we just make sure that everything is running accordingly, basically. Yeah. So that is something that has happened with Boots Pharmacy in the UK. Another thing that happened in 2024 with the NHS is the net zero. So basically what that means is the NHS has always, it's, you know, the NHS has talked about sort of trying to achieve net zero emissions by a certain year. And they have always talked about 2040 being the year where there is net zero emissions. And therefore that means they are now sort of like using a lot of renewable energy sources, you know, in a lot of sort of like the hospital infrastructure, as well as sort of reducing single-use plastics and things like that. Because in hospitals there is a lot of single-use plastic. Yeah, with everything. If you think about it, just one patient catheter, gloves. There's so many single-use plastics.
So many. But that's brilliant.
Yeah, and I feel like there's things that they can put in place, not just the NHS, but other sort of like healthcare sectors across the world, where we put things in place to avoid use of single-use plastics, because we know where this is ending, and we know the, you know, the repercussions of like, you know, of like plastic and stuff like that. So I'm quite happy about that. Yeah, so it's basically 2024. It's not when it started. It's basically continuing to like reinforce this, which is great.
That's brilliant.
Yeah. And almost to the end of my year-end review, I've got something that happened in the mental health department. So there's been advances in mental health, where there's digital tools that have been crafted and created that sort of specialize in mental health solutions. So basically, it's all to do with these wearable things. Yeah. So there has been a lot of wearables that have now come in place in 2024 to monitor mental well-being. Yeah, and I think these wearables are now also, again, it's all to do with AI. They are taking over because there's been an increased number of like wearables that are able to sort of monitor chronic conditions, which is good for us, you know, because we can't, like, sometimes we want to help a patient so much, but we can't always follow every single, you know, be with you in every single step, or follow you every single day. I think this is pretty good.
It's pretty good. No, I like these. Like, it just really shows you how the future is going to be, because look, like, things are literally being digitalized. Like, you know, it's really important though. It makes our life easier,
100%.
especially for healthcare. If things can be made easier for you, you focus more on the patient,
on the things that
are important. I
it.
think that's brilliant. I like the way the future's shaping.
Right? Now, the last thing that happened in 2024 is that you made it to the end of the year. You made it to Christmas. And we're hoping that you will make it to the new year and to many more Christmases to come.
Definitely.
Yeah.